Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Movie Chatter. Tonight we are covering Deadpool versus Wonder Woman versus The Rock. Kinda. We're covering Red Notice on Netflix. But first, I'm Eric and I'm joined tonight by Lou and Robin. Robin, how you doing tonight?
Well, I was a little confused, but after you said that, I got it.
Deadpool versus Wonder Woman versus...
I got it. That did, but yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All of my favorite things. Well, except for... Anyway. Hi, I'm doing really well.
Excellent. It's been a while.
It has.
Yeah. I think that Army of Thieves had such a traumatic impact on Lou that, he needed a break for a while. Lou, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great.
Yeah?
I needed a break after that last show because I had to just get away.
Well, good news. We're not doing Army of Thieves this week. Though we can go back and recap if you'd like.
Thank God. No, I'm good. I had to get that out of my head, so I went down to Florida and went to Universal and Disney. So.
Oh, you went to Universal and Disney.
Should have gone to Las Vegas.
Yeah. One day at each park.
Yeah, and what'd you think?
It was great.
Which was better?
I had a good time. I mean, good roller coasters at Universal, so that's awesome. But not
Did
much.
You go like this?
I did.
Very calmly. He just stood there like.
Yeah.
Everyone else was like, "Oh!" He was like,
"Yep."
Sorry, audio listeners.
I mean, the Velocicoaster was awesome.
I haven't.
The Harry Potter stuff was pretty cool.
On that one. That one's new since I've been there.
Oh, it's amazing. The 0 to 70 in like 2.3 seconds, something like that. It's crazy.
Wow. Did you do? Did you go into the Harry Potter area at all?
I did. I did a park hopper thing for there, so I did both sides of the park. Did Universal and Islands of Adventure, and I did the whole Wanda experience and kind of saw the Harry Potter stuff and had some, butterbeer and stuff. Yeah, it was good.
I like the butterbeer.
In fact, I almost hooked up with Nathan Chase from Flickchart.
He's married, isn't he?
Well, not that kind of hookup.
Okay.
Jesus.
Okay. Sorry, I have to translate for our younger listeners, Lou.
he gave me a list of what to do at the
Hold
parks and what order to do things in. So it was good. We were trying to get together for a drink, but we never did. So, but
I miss him. I hope he's doing well.
Yeah, he's doing great.
Good.
And we talked about getting him back on the show here for a guest appearance occasionally, and we'll see if we get him on here and
that'd be great.
Chat about Flickchart and what's going on with him and stuff. Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Yeah. And you saw Lizzie from Random Chatter.
Yeah, got to hang with Lizzie. She's got annual passes to both parks, so
she lives there.
She met me for lunch. I know.
She goes to work
like
and then she drives back to Disney and parks and goes in, lives in the castle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she met me for lunch at Universal, and we rode a couple roller coasters together.
Traitor.
And she spent the day with me on Friday at Hollywood Studios for Disney, and we got to do the whole Batuu thing.
Yeah.
That was awesome. It was good having somebody who'd been there before and kind of knows the ins and outs, and it was a lot of fun. We had a good time.
Okay, so last question.
Yeah.
Falcon or Rise of the Resistance?
You mean which one's better? Oh, Rise of the Resistance, without a doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both good. I mean, I had a good time both. We rode both of them twice, but Rise is just a much better ride.
You had a busy day. You did a lot of things in a short period of time. Good for you.
I did. I think
short
I had
lines
like
or something.
Well, I mean, Universal was pretty good. The lines weren't that bad there. I did almost everything I wanted to see there. Star Wars was a bit longer. We got there. First thing we did is went to Rise, and we stood in line for probably an hour and a half, maybe just under that. And then we went back later for that again, and the signs were saying 170 minutes. For a line, but it was much shorter. It was on just under 2 hours, but still, it was a bit of a wait. But the line is so inclusive there. I mean, you're in.
True, the line is an experience.
Kind of going through stuff. Yeah, it really is fun. So,
yeah. Okay. All right. Well, shall we talk the movie?
We should. This is the green line thing, right?
Yeah, Green Notice. Yeah. Now, this is Army of Thieves, the prequel.
No.
So, by the way, hi to everybody in the chat room. Hey, Tom, how you doing? We are covering Red Notice on Netflix, which came out fairly recently. My understanding is this is we keep saying this every time Netflix releases something new, but this is like their biggest movie release ever with the most number of viewings. And I mean, good for them. They keep topping themselves.
Yeah.
That's great.
They had announced that this was getting, I forget how many hours of viewing they did, but that's not really right because it's how many views, not how many hours of viewing. Because each one.
But they changed it on purpose, though, Lou. And I got to say,
did they?
There's like, it's the lesser of the two evils. Because what they used to do is when they did it by number of views, they counted anybody who watched it for more than like 2 minutes.
Oh, right.
So they got rid of that system because of all of the complaints about how it wasn't an accurate representation. And instead they're going by the number of minutes viewed, which, I mean, to be fair, yeah, if somebody watches it twice, that should equate to 4 times as much to someone who watched half the movie and ducked out. Like that person's ducking out should count as less.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I suppose.
I mean, they're not going to get a perfect system, but I think this is okay. It's better. So, quick around the table here, we are going to do some non-spoilery stuff. Then we are going to start talking about the movie and kind of tearing apart the plot, the different scenes, at which point we will be talking spoilers because there are some big spoilers in this movie. So if you have not watched it, this is one of those times where we do not want you listening to the spoiler section. We're going to find out in a minute whether we would recommend you watch it at all. But if we do have the consensus that you should see this movie, watch it all the way through before finishing up this podcast. Sometimes we say, the spoilers don't matter that much. You can still listen. This is not one of those times. So, Robin, what did you think of Red Notice?
It was fun. I appreciated it a lot more when it was finished. So you know what? It was fun. It was action-y, it was adventure-y, it was funny at times. And yeah, I mean, I'd see it again on a rainy Saturday afternoon. I'm not going to do cartwheels. I'm not going to stand in line for 2 hours.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine Tim at Galaxy's Edge? He would have an aneurysm.
No.
We leave and they'd be like, hey, Tim, what did you go on?
Yeah.
Nothing. Why not? Lines.
Lines. Yeah.
Lines.
I think he'd wait in line for this, though. Yeah.
Okay. We'll see. We will see someday. We will all go down there together. It'll be interesting. But Lou, what did you think of Red Notice? If you can remember that far back, so, since before your galactic adventure.
I watched it again since I went back just to make sure I was up to speed with it. Yeah. I think like Robin said, it's not like I'm going to do cartwheels to see it again, but it was a good movie. I mean, Ryan Reynolds was Ryan Reynolds. I mean, he's definitely one of the big draws, and I like The Rock. I think Dwayne Johnson does a good job doing his stuff, and he's got good comedy timing and so forth. And what's not to like about Gal Gadot? So, yeah, I mean the plot had some issues, I think, at some points in the movie, but I enjoyed it. I don't think I was looking forward to the end like Robin was like, oh, it's finished, good. But you go ahead, Robin.
No, I meant after it finished, I appreciated it.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you were appreciating that it was over.
Okay.
Right. Given that I could see clearly now.
Because the rain was
gone. The rain's gone. Yeah. Yeah.
Because the rain was gone. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, no, I think we're on the same page, Robin.
Okay. So would you say, Lou, that this was better or not as good as Army of Thieves?
Really?
I don't know. You were thinking a long time there. You started to worry me.
I was like, wait, what is he really asking me?
Okay.
Yeah, better.
Better. Okay. All right.
What about
I
you,
liked
Eric?
it. I think that it was a lot of fun. I mean, it's one of those movies where you kind of know what you're getting into when you go into it. There were some plot holes that you could drive an antique World War II Nazi Jeep through. But on second viewing, a lot of those plot holes went away. But yeah, I mean, you had to go into it looking at it as a popcorn kind of movie. And I think in that regard, it was good. I'm beginning to like The Rock. I think that early on in his film career, I was kind of apathetic or ambivalent. And I think that I think he's proven himself. I don't think this is his best movie, but I think he did really well in it. I don't think he was as over the top as he is in a lot of things. And I think Jungle Cruise was the same way. I think that was another movie that showed that he can actually act and is more than just some kind of action movie star. And I think that Red Notice was a good example of that. And I also think Ryan Reynolds wasn't as far over the top in this one as he is in some movies. His humor's a little more subtle.
Yeah. I've always loved Dwayne Johnson. He's one of those guys that I will like watch a movie because he's in it. And in fact, I was looking forward to this movie because he is in it. I really appreciate him as an actor and a presence on the screen.
I like him as an actor. Yeah, I think he does a good job. I really like his comedic timing. I think he's just good at it. He's not the funniest guy in the world, but he has a presence that makes it right.
I guess I'm getting to the point where I would watch something just because he's in it. Now that I give it some thought, yeah.
And then you pair that with Ryan Reynolds, who is, can be just off the wall amazing as far as comedy goes, or subtle and getting little quick jabs in here and there, like he did in this movie really well.
Well, the quick jabs are the best.
Yeah, and it's like he does such a good job of it. It's just fun to see him play against. I won't say The Rock's straight man, but he was a more of a straight man to Ryan Reynolds than not. But I thought they played well together.
Yeah, I think the chemistry was really good. And I think the humor was good too. I think, and the action scenes were good. I mean, again, plot wise, it wasn't anything really spectacular, but I think it worked. And I hate to say that, maybe it was the writing. And by the way, we should probably give the spoiler warning now, because I think at some point we're going to accidentally say something. But we'll give a spoiler warning now. We're going to talk about the ending a little bit further down the road, so not the heavy spoilers right away, but we are going to jump into spoilers. Yeah, Robin.
Well, let's talk about the director. I mean, he's done some really good stuff.
First, let me, if I can wrap up the cast, though, I want to comment about, we're talking about how good The Rock is. We're talking about how good Ryan Reynolds is. And I have to say that I feel like the weaker link of the trio here was Gal Gadot. I don't know that it's her fault as much as it is the way the character was written. But I did not like her character as much as I expected to like her character. And I don't know whose responsibility is that. Is it the director's? Is it the writing? Or is it Gal Gadot's?
So this is going to be a really unpopular opinion. And folks in the chat room, even though I can't see you, don't throw things at the screen. I do not like her as an actress. I have seen her now a couple of times, and I actually do think it was her.
I mean, really? I think she is a good actress, and I think Dwayne Johnson is proving that he is a great actor, and Ryan Reynolds has long proved he's a great actor. So I think, good, great, and great. I don't know. I mean, I think she's fine. I'm happy to watch movies she's in. But
well, I mean, so she got, that star quality to her because of Wonder Woman, right? I mean, that was a great movie.
And she does well as Wonder Woman. But I
mean, I think the first movie was much better than the second movie, but
that was definitely
I'm trying to look back at what else she's done. And
I feel like with Gal Gadot, though, it worked in Wonder Woman because Diana is kind of separated from, the rest of humanity on the island. And so you get this kind of fish out of water thing. So when she doesn't connect that well with other people, it fits. Other movies I've seen her in, it feels like she's acting really well instead of she's actually the person. And Ryan Reynolds, I feel like he's actually the person he's playing. And The Rock, I'm getting to the point where
he plays himself all the time.
Yeah. And with her, she feels like she's acting, and she's doing a good job of the acting, but she's still acting, and you can tell the chemistry isn't quite the same.
Right, but when you look at her filmography, she hasn't done all that much.
No, that's very true.
And before that, the biggest profile stuff she has is the Fast and Furious series, and she wasn't great there. I mean, it's not really a role you can really be great in,
right?
So there wasn't much to it. But yeah, I mean, in this movie, I mean, she was definitely upstaged by the other two guys.
And I'm not trying to diss her or anything. I mean, I don't dislike her, but
I think you guys hit on something. I think it was the chemistry.
Yeah.
Like I liked the woman, and of course the actress's name is not in my head.
Rita,
that Ryan Reynolds,
Ritu
played,
Arya.
No, the Ryan Reynolds played against in shoot,
I'm sorry,
never
I thought
mind.
you meant the woman in this movie.
Sentence. Sorry. No. He's played against other actresses, I think, where he's had more chemistry. Certainly, Dwayne Johnson has played with actresses that he's had a lot more chemistry with, and I think that's my point here. Is I think there was chemistry between the men, and I think she kind of felt like a third wheel.
Yeah. And I think that her role didn't help that. But I think it definitely, I think you're right. I think it's her in this case. Let's go into the director, though.
So he, Rawson Marshall Thurber, I know you guys probably didn't like this movie very much, but he directed Skyscraper, which I really liked. I liked the movie. Of course, another Dwayne Johnson movie, but so I thought, I mean, he's done some other stuff, not really noteworthy, but I could see, now that I know that, he's the director and I've seen Skyscraper a few times, I could see that, right? This was way more understated than the action-y pieces that you got in Skyscraper, but
was Skyscraper good?
I really liked it.
I never
saw it either. I
it.
kind of looked at the trailer and I'm like, yeah.
It's a Diziesta movie. I have to watch them. So
okay.
So right? This guy also did We're the Millers.
Oh, I saw that.
Yes.
Which I didn't realize. Yeah, and I thought that was a great movie.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be dumb, and it was okay.
Yeah, no, I thought the comedy was great in that movie. I mean, I was some spots in there where I laughed out loud. I couldn't help myself.
And it's rumored that there's a We're the Millers 2 coming out.
Yeah, I see that. And he also did Dodgeball, which wasn't great, but was funny.
Hey, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
That's right.
See, I've never seen.
You've never. Oh, you should. You should. I mean, it's worth it.
I mean, Dodgeball was a stupid movie, but there was so much wit in it.
Yeah,
it was.
There was a lot
clever.
of wit, a lot of comedy. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's worth watching. Yeah.
All right. Well.
Okay.
Anyway.
So, yeah, I have no problem with the director in this. I think it was well directed.
Mm-hmm.
But he was also the writer, so that should be noted. So if we're going to talk about, writing and direction, here's a guy that's directing his own pieces, and the only thing I'm going to fault him for is maybe not directing Gal Gadot very well.
Okay.
Well.
Again, I gotta listen. I think that if it's 60% her, I think it's 30% writing and 10% the directing. I mean, again, she's in a role where she's also kind of disconnected to the characters throughout the whole movie and doing this kind of antagonistic teasing of them up until the end, at which point, the movie's over. So, I mean, I also kind of get that the movie was setting her up to have a hard time forming chemistry with the leads.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
You got to give a little bit of credit to that. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
All right.
But to me,
36% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
Gents.
Really, that's surprising.
Wow.
Not
yeah,
so good.
no. I think it's better
not
than
so
that.
Good. No. Yep. No, I think so
Lou,
too.
what were you going to say?
I was just gonna say, I think the movie was more about Ryan and The Rock,
Right.
and not really about her. She wasn't the biggest part. I mean, they weren't equal thirds of the movie. They were, those two were the big part of it, and she was there as well.
Right.
Right,
It was the
right.
anti-buddy cop movie where you've got the two guys that just don't really click being forced to work together. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like Hobbs and Shaw, another one of my favorite flicks. So
Really? One of your
There it is.
favorites?
Never seen it.
I saw it recently.
I watch it all the time.
I saw it recently, and it was, and I'm not a Fast and Furious franchise person. I saw, I think, maybe the first two.
Me either.
But I watched Hobbs and Shaw, and it was good, and I love Jason Statham. But like to say it's one of your favorite movies, and you as a film studies professor, like you've seen more than 3 or 4 movies, right? You've seen at least 10.
It's
So
I find it very, very charming.
Okay,
I don't know.
so you're not saying it's one of the
move
best
along, move
movies,
along.
but you're saying it's one of your favorite movies.
No, it's not
Right.
Casablanca, but
Also haven't
Yeah.
seen, we're going through like a who's who of movies we haven't seen, Lou.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you guys watch Casablanca.
I mean, you know what my condition is. I'm coming to visit this
And I'm
week,
gonna
and
be-
yes,
and
Lou,
I'm
you
gonna
do
be-
have to watch it with us remotely.
And I'm going to be the loser in this one because I got to watch something else.
Right? You have to watch my bad movie and her bad movie.
Damn it. What the?
Yes, that was out loud intentionally.
Mm.
That's okay, Lou, because you get to pick a stinker for us to watch, and this is where Lou responds and says, "Yeah, but I don't watch bad movies."
There you go.
Yeah.
Think you watch Meet Joe Black again.
Casablanca's
Oh no! Oh no! No!
I love that
Moving
movie.
on.
Anyway,
Moving
Great
on. All right. What about Inspector Urvashi Das? She was pretty good.
God bless you.
She had a smaller Lou. She had a smaller role in this, but I think she did pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was good. I mean, but she was there not very much in
No.
the movie, to tell you the truth. But I mean,
Yeah.
But yeah, no, she was good.
When she was there, like I think she carried her role well. She had a presence, so
Yep.
I think it worked. All right. One quick thing I did find on IMDb. So there's a point at which, about halfway through the movie, where The Rock's character, Hartley, goes to the masquerade party at Sotto Voce's place, and he hands the security guard an invitation with a QR code on it. If you pause the movie and you scan the QR code, you get taken to a video
Yeah.
with a bunch of bloopers.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
That's cool.
How cool is
I
that?
like that. That's cool. Yeah. I'll have to try
Yeah.
that.
Kudos
That's
to the
awesome.
director for that.
Yep. That's fun. I like when you do stuff like
Yeah.
that. That's really cool.
I thought that was pretty awesome. I didn't try
Yeah.
it, but credit to IMDb, whoever posted it there.
Right.
So
So we have to try.
yeah, you have to try it now. I wouldn't mind
I'm
seeing.
going
Are
to
you,
try it now.
are
Yeah.
you kidding me?
I know.
Bloopers with
We're
The
gonna try it
Rock and
now.
Ryan Reynolds. I mean, what more
Oh,
do you want out
yeah.
of life?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
That's got to be amazing. I love the scene in the prison. He's not a cop. He's not a
Yeah,
cop.
right.
That whole thing, loved that.
Yep. That was good. That was good.
And you know that was all improv.
Yeah, probably.
So I really liked that though. Like Ryan Reynolds, everybody says, oh, he always does Deadpool. Well, no, I think Deadpool is Ryan Reynolds. I think it's the other way around. I think that, and there are different levels. He turns that knob up or down depending on the role. And I think it was set at the perfect level for this. It was the right amount of Ryan Reynolds all the way through. I really liked that.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
The ending. So I watched the movie a second time, and Lou, you've seen it twice. Did you see it more than once, Robin? Okay.
No.
I kind of felt like watching it through the second time, the plot holes that really bothered me, especially near the end, like The Rock shooting at the agents when they came in, and then Reynolds is like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Well, they're shooting at us." And I'm thinking, yeah, but no. Like that's not a thing. No law enforcement professional would ever do that. Period. End of discussion. Under no circumstance. And to me, I'm sitting there thinking, well, that's just crappy writing. And then you watch it the second time and you're like, oh, yeah, okay, I get it. So there were plot holes that got fixed. But otherwise, it wasn't one of those situations where it like really changed the movie for me. In fact, I kind of felt the opposite. I'm like, oh, well, now that I know that this whole thing is kind of a farce, it's like, everything he does now is like, I don't know. It felt less. Well, it was less honest, but then as the viewer, I'm like, yeah, I already know why he's doing this. I get it. It didn't, like, I felt like it lost some of that chemistry that I felt the first time around, and now I know all that chemistry's false. And so it was weird. It's almost like it had a detrimental effect the second time around, as opposed to normally in this sort of circumstance, it has the opposite. It's like, oh, wow, hey, Bruce Willis has been dead the whole time. You know, that was like an incredible experience. The second viewing of The Sixth Sense was better than the first by far. And in this movie, I don't want to say it broke it, but it definitely, like, I felt not as good the second time as I did the first time.
Well, I mean, there are some movies that benefit from seeing the second time, just kind of see how they did it, like The Sixth Sense you mentioned. Other movies like this one and like The First Nightmare on Elm Street, are broken because now the trick they were playing on you isn't there anymore. So it's like, oh, it's not really, it doesn't have the same effect on you.
Right.
So just knowing how they did it doesn't mean it's going to be enjoyable the second time, like The Sixth Sense was.
But I think especially in this movie, because The Rock's character was all about being this Boy Scout, and everything he did was, came out of these pure motivations, and the chemistry between him and Ryan Reynolds was kind of based on that. And, Ryan Reynolds' character, Booth, hey, loosen up, and him like, no, I don't loosen up. And then you find out at the end, well, that's not the case. Then all the way through the movie, the second viewing, and presumably the third, etc., like that whole interaction feels like, yeah, you're a waste, dude. You don't waste your time talking to him. Just keep going, keep breaking out of the prison or whatever.
Well, I mean, he was playing a role, and he did the role really well.
Yeah. I don't know. You're right. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. It was exactly the way it was supposed to be, but it felt weird the second time. I don't know.
If I watch it again, I'll have to look for that.
I really wanted to see, okay, I'm going to sit down and watch it again now. How is this going to change my experience? And it was weird that it kind of didn't feel as good. Didn't feel bad. I think it was easier for me to get bored with it. You always, when you watch a movie a second time, like you said, Lou, you always know what's going to happen. There's no anticipation anymore. And so.
Right. But some things, like you said, this one kind of breaks it because it's like, well, now I know he's not playing he's playing a role instead of being the person.
Right.
In the character. Yeah. Unlike, other movies where it's not the same where it's like, I know what's going to happen, but you're not trying to see a character as something else.
Yeah.
I keep coming back to Nightmare on Elm Street because, the first movie worked so well because you didn't know if they were dreaming or awake, if it was real or not. And then next time you watch it, you know what's going on. So it's like, it's not as scary type thing.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm wondering how the second one is going to turn out now that we kind of know the ending. And I wonder if maybe it will fix the issues we saw with Gal Gadot's character in this one. Because it won't be as separated.
I think that the second one's going to be definitely more of the three of them as a team.
Right.
Not playing separate roles individually, because now they're all on the same page, right? They're doing the same thing,
right.
And they set it up really well. I think it was a good way to have this first movie to play into this. If they want to make 2, 3, 4 movies out of this, they certainly can, as a group now doing the work.
Right.
Not that I think they should do 4 movies.
No,
I'm just
4 would
saying.
be too much. I think a
right.
second one would be good, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I don't have much else to say about this one. You guys have any other comments you want to make?
Not really. I mean, I thought the little inside things like the placement of Aviation Gin was good.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
That was funny.
it fits him. Other movies, you'd be like, it's just a blatant advertising
Right.
thing. But because it's him and his stuff, it's like, okay, I can see. I think it's cool.
Yeah. That was cute.
That was quite funny.
Yep.
That was
So,
I
Lou,
thought
you
that.
would recommend it? Yes? No?
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth seeing. I like Ryan Reynolds. I thought the comedy was good, and I'd say you see it.
Okay. And Robin?
Yeah, I'd see it. Sure.
Are you sure? That's a lot of stuttering for something you're sure about. I'd say see it.
I'm trying to convince myself.
Wow.
No, you know what? It is worth watching.
So we have 2.5 thumbs up here. 2 thumbs and kind of like half the knuckle right up to that first part there. Okay. All right, that's fair. I would recommend it. I would say see it. I mean, hey, it's on Netflix. You're not going to get a Netflix subscription for this if you don't have one. So otherwise, you have a subscription already. Yeah, watch it.
Right.
It's definitely good. There's no way I can see many people considering this a waste of time. Like, it was definitely a movie that you're going to enjoy, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It wasn't like Cannibal the Musical.
No, it's not quite that heady. I don't think you really need to try to focus.
Nothing could be
quite
like
as
that,
hard.
Thank God.
I could, this winter, I could sing the Let's Build a Snowman song.
No, that's not.
Okay. All right.
Hey, Robin, he's coming your way, Robin.
I'm
Just
about
saying.
to start
I
singing.
know.
Just saying.
So we have to discuss what to cover next time. We might have to do this offline. I just saw a very overrated movie that I'd be happy to cover if you guys are, but we don't have to.
What movie is that?
Well, interestingly enough, I will be up at Robin and Tim's place next week when we would be recording this, and I might get kicked out in the snow. I saw
Depends on if we
I
have
saw
snow.
Venom Let There Be Carnage.
Oh, come on. You can't come here now.
See what I'm saying? So I'm thinking maybe we need to wait
I'm
and not
sorry.
review that one next week, but
The
review it the
Secchi's
week
is
after.
Not open to you.
So
That's
now
fine. I can
the
be
week
civil.
so coming up here now we have the holidays coming, which is gonna be a busy time of the year
Yep.
too. So the week after is fine, but the week after that we probably need to cover
Some sort of a holiday movie?
Well, no, I was thinking The Matrix because that comes out.
Well,
on the 22nd.
yes. I mean, we have to cover The Matrix.
And
we have to cover the
that'll be
Spider-Man
the
movie
first-
too.
The first Tuesday after The Matrix comes out would be the 28th. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Just
I just saw it.
so what?
I
showed it
was
to my
going to say,
class.
no, you didn't. The original Matrix, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
the original.
Oh,
yes.
I
I just.
was like, how did you see that? And
I
where
just
can I
saw
get a
it.
copy?
Right. I'll send it to you right after this.
I'm assuming you guys saw the second trailer, right?
Yeah. Which I have to say, I have a lot of concerns about this movie, and this most recent trailer did make it look much better.
Yeah.
I want to point out
yeah,
we're
it did.
joking, by the way. I don't have a copy of it. I'm not sending it to Lou. So A, don't arrest me, and B, don't harass me to get a copy from me because, no. Yeah, the second trailer looks really good. So we need to cover The Matrix. So normally we take a break and a hiatus around the holidays, but I think we might do a special episode for The Matrix, and maybe we will do a special episode for Spider-Man. I think we'll have time. I think we'll have a week.
Is Spider-Man only in theaters?
Yeah, it's only in theaters, but it comes out on the 17th, so there's a little bit of time to get in and see it before Christmas.
Yeah, I got to make reservations. I think that I know that all the servers were broken the day it went online,
Yeah.
but
But I think it's going to be
No.
big enough. I know I'm going to see it. Robin's, I think, going to see it with us. Okay.
Yes.
Tim will be seeing it.
Thanks.
So, Lou, if you're able to see it, we should definitely cover it.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I will see what I can find for availability. I've got some days off. I'm using at the end of the year, so I can do like a matinee someday.
cool. The other thing we could do is we could do kind of a year-end recap. What our favorite? I know we're going to do an episode on Random Chatter where we go back and talk about the best and worst things that we've seen from 2021. But it might be fun to just look at the movie chatter episodes that we did and pick out which our favorite movies were. Just a little short episode, maybe.
Sure, that sounds good. Yeah.
So, okay. Well, next week we will not be covering Venom because I don't want to sleep outdoors while I'm traveling. I don't have an Arctic sleeping bag anymore, not since leaving the military. So, but I don't know. We will come up with something
seen it,
to cover.
But I would see it if we're going to cover it.
Or we could just do the Matrix, but we can talk about it.
Well, we've covered the original Matrix.
Okay.
You don't remember us talking about the Matrix?
Lou, are you frozen?
No, I'm still here.
Yeah, I had to look for a minute though too. I look over at Lou and I'm like, wait, his video's not moving.
I'm just stunned that she doesn't remember talking about the Matrix.
It's the Matrix, Robin. Yeah. In fact, I think there was some word that you used when we covered it that I had to go look up.
Yes.
I forget what the word was, but
I'm gonna have to find the episode and listen to it.
she pulled out a $5 word, and
she did. She pulled out like a $17 word.
Maybe, yeah.
It was a big one. There were like at least 6 letters in it. We covered the show. Yeah. We covered it, Robin.
That's the
Episcopalian right there.
Again, I just
epistemiology, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
something.
I just went through this with my class.
Yeah.
So
well, we are all your students, Robin, and we did cover the Matrix. I'd be happy to discuss it again, but I mean, it's only so many times you can do it in one podcast series. But we will come up with something to cover for next week. Not sure what it will be yet, but we will come up with something. So until then, be sure to subscribe on YouTube and maybe hit the thumbs up button. Even if you don't watch these on YouTube, if you listen to the audio podcast and you want to go back and hit the YouTube page and put comments there or hit the like button, that would still help us out quite a bit.
Yes, it would.
And we would read your comments too, because we're nice like that. So, but randomchatter.com. You can subscribe to Movie Chatter, Random Chatter, and a bunch of other things. Of course, there's a lot of MCU stuff going on right now. We've got Guardians of the MCU and MCU TV. Hawkeye is going on right now. We've got the Book of Boba Fett coming up soon, so you can hear about that on Force Chatter. The Expanse is coming back. The final novel just came out last week. I
haven't listened to it. I got to get that, and I got to catch up on the show, so I'm behind on the series too. So.
Yeah, you got to catch up then, because this is the final series of the show, and it's the final book in the series. I actually started the Thrawn novel, and I stopped that so I could pick up the Expanse instead. So, and so we have the Type Beam, an Expanse podcast, really good one. So check that out as well. While you're there, go to randomchatter.com/Discord, and that'll get you a link into our Discord server, and go to randomchatter.com/store, and you can pick up t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies. It is getting colder outside, if you haven't noticed. So,
and they make great gifts.
They do make great gifts. For real, they do. They're actually really good quality t-shirts. I was a little worried. Tim said, "Hey, we set up the store for this website." And I'm like, what do we even know about this website? What if these t-shirts are crap? They're not. They're really comfortable. They hold up well. You always get those t-shirts with the patterns on it, and you wash them a few times and they start to like crack and break and stuff. Not these. These are legit really good. So yeah, if you wanted to get them for gifts for people, wouldn't be a bad idea.
Everybody needs to send Eric some for when he's sleeping outside.
That's true. Because you have to layer up.
Yeah.
Venom 2 was a wonderful movie, Robin. I would watch it over and over. It was better than Cats.
There you go. Yeah.
Lose 64 cats? Performing cats?
Performing cats. Nothing beats performing cats, yeah.
I wonder how many people out there have to either go ask their parents about that Saturday Night Live skit or like have to Google it. Just Google search for "it was better than Cats." Yeah. Okay. That's going to do it for this episode of Movie Chatter. We will see you back here again in about a week. In the meantime, go watch Red Notice and take care. We will see you again soon.